A secret truth hides under the loud engines and the smell of burned rubber on Street Outlaws. The show got millions of fans hooked, but behind what we saw on TV, a different kind of race was going on. Why did the biggest names, the very heart of the show, suddenly disappear? From broken promises to sad losses, the real reasons Big Chief and other stars left will surprise you. Big Chief's fight with the bosses. The street racing world knows few names as famous as Big Chief. His story, from a young boy who loved speed to a powerful person in the sport, is about passion and hard work. As he got older, his power in the Oklahoma City street racing scene grew too. Big Chief became the go-to guy, the keeper of the famous 405 list. If any racer wanted a spot among the fastest, they had to prove themselves by going through him. His power was built on years of hard work and knowing the sport really well. His first car, a Pontiac GTO, was a project of love and power, turning into the legendary machine called the Crow. Over time, the Crow changed, even becoming the Crow Mod, a Pro Mod version. But Big Chief had a strong belief that Pro Mods did not belong on the list, a list meant for real street cars. This belief led him back to racing a heavy-frame car, staying true to his roots and the spirit of street racing he loved. Fans of Street Outlaws were confused when Big Chief was surprisingly missing from recent seasons, especially America's list. Whispers and rumors flew around, but the real story stayed hidden. Finally, in April 2022, Big Chief himself broke the silence in a YouTube video, saying that his permanent leaving was because of serious disagreements with the production company's rules. The main problem was about a policy called "Race Your Way In." Big Chief felt this rule was really unfair. He saw that way too many racers from the Street Outlaws Memphis crew were being given chances to join, while many other racers who deserved it were just left out. He believed this policy went against his principles and his strong dedication to his own racing plan and keeping the list fair. For Big Chief, this was not just a small disagreement about rules. It was a direct challenge to his role as the race master. He felt that if the production company could decide who got in and how, inviting certain racers while keeping others out, his authority and the fairness of the list were being hurt. This interference led to a huge fight between Big Chief, the Memphis crew, and the production company. The fights with production were not the only reasons for Big Chief stepping away. The constant pace of being a reality TV star also wore him down. He talked openly about an exhausting schedule that left him little time for himself. He needed to relax and, more importantly, focus on his family. This included his wife, Alicia Shearer, and their kids, Corbin and Corville. The constant demands of filming meant that even his beloved workshop operations suffered, because he was often away. There were also false rumors going around about him needing rehab, which he quickly shut down. Big Chief made clear that his only real addictions in life were speed, adrenaline, and the high-energy action of racing. The demanding schedule and the need to put his personal life first showed the human cost of reality TV fame. The need to clear up false rumors also showed how invasive being a public figure can be. To take back control over his life and his racing, matching it more with his personal values, he started a new business called 187 Customs. This new workshop started with another racer named Phantom, let him spend more time at home while still following his passion for cars and racing. Despite this work change, he told his fans that he and Sean, another Street Outlaws star, stayed good friends. Even after he left the main show, his Instagram profile still listed Street Outlaws, which left many fans confused about whether he would ever come back. He had been excited to be part of America's list, but his main problems with racing rules and the show's direction stayed unsolved. Monza's loyalty tested. Jerry Monza Johnston, a name connected with the iconic split-bumper Camaro, was a foundation of the Street Outlaws series. His story is one of unwavering dedication, but even deep loyalty can be strained when the business side of racing takes over. Monza is known by his distinctive 1972 split-bumper Camaro. For over 10 years, he poured his heart and soul into this machine, updating and changing it into a tough race car. Monza was a consistent presence, a regular part of the Street Outlaws storyline, and his loyalty to the brand was well known. was ready for its TV debut. The news that Monza was pushed out after years of loyalty sent shockwaves through the Street Outlaws fan base. His decision to not participate in the 6th season of No Prep Kings came from serious contract disagreements. For Monza, racing was not just a passion, it was his business, and he treated it with the seriousness it deserved. While the exact details of his contract were never made public, it was understood that these agreements could be very different from person to person and could change when renewed. Monza openly admitted the huge financial strain of participating in No Prep Kings. He said that he simply could not chase No Prep Kings all year and spend everything that I've made in the last 10 years. At 56 years old, he needed to secure his future, not use up his savings by blowing $150,000 on races. He expressed a deep sense of frustration, feeling that after 11 years of helping to build the Street Outlaws brand, he should not have to spend his hard-earned savings just to follow the show around. His contract was eventually cut, making it impossible for him to keep up the demanding schedule without big sponsors. Adding to his problems, the cost of his new Chevelle was higher than he thought, and its completion took much longer than planned. Despite his absence from No Prep Kings and the money hurdles, Monza never truly stopped racing. He showed off a brand new No Prep Chevelle, a car built just for competition, even though money issues kept him from racing it in the No Prep Kings series. He made it clear that fans would still see his car on the track, even if he was not yet sure where or when. He started actively setting up appearances and talking with different tracks to schedule dates, showing his determination to keep racing on his own terms. The racing community and fans continue to buzz with excitement about a possible 2025 comeback for Monza, especially with the recent changes to the No Prep Kings format. Monza's continued efforts to race, despite leaving the main show and facing big financial challenges, showed his deep-seated passion for the sport itself, a passion that existed separately from the TV spotlight, Reaper's heartbreak. James Goad, known by everyone as Reaper, was a tough presence on the track, known for his bold personality and aggressive driving style. For many seasons, he fiercely competed in his car, named the Reaper, cementing his place as a fan favorite. Later, he introduced a new machine to the racing world, a car he called Des Nuts. His dedication to speed was clear in his builds, including a powerful 1969 Camaro with an incredible 4,000 horsepower, equipped with a Procharger and a Holley Dominator ECU. He planned to unleash this beast not only in the Street Outlaws TV series, but also at other major big-tire racing events across the country. The detailed descriptions of Reaper's cars and their huge power, combined with his fierce presence, established his identity as a serious, dedicated racer. The very names of his cars, like the Reaper and Des Nuts, showed a personal connection and a deep sense of pride in his creations. The Street Outlaws community was left stunned and heartbroken by a deep tragedy that hit James Goad. He faced a devastating personal loss that sent shockwaves through fans and fellow racers alike. This incident marked a sad chapter in his life, revealing the huge emotional toll that can hide behind the high-energy world of street racing. The specific personal loss that shook Reaper to his core was the horrible destruction of both his prized Camaros in a trailer fire. This devastating incident happened as he and his wife Stacy were traveling home from the Reaper All-Star No Prep event in Texas. Stacy noticed a strange glow or sparks coming from the trailer. Despite James initially thinking it was just the safety chain sparking, Stacy saw the sparks again and then the trailer lights went out, but the scary glow remained. When James pulled over and walked to the trailer, he saw the glow through the cracks of the door. He rushed back to the RV to grab fire extinguishers, but when he opened the side access door, he discovered the entire front of the trailer was covered in flames. The cars filled with methanol gave plenty of fuel for the fire, making them total losses by the time the fire department arrived. Reaper was completely devastated by the loss, feeling as though he was done with racing. His wife Stacy sadly explained the depth of their attachment, stating that their lives had revolved around these cars for the past 5 years, and they were like our children. To walk into the shop and see them reduced to skeletal forms transformed from beautiful machines to just shells, was truly heartbreaking.
In a twist of fate, a second trailer fire on May 16, 2023, was miraculously stopped from becoming another total loss, all thanks to a properly installed fire suppression system. This important system saved his newest No Prep Kings ride, a car he was deeply attached to, even more so than his famous Reaper Camaro, because he and his brothers had built everything on it. Reaper noted that the first fire, which resulted in a $500,000 loss, could have been completely prevented with a $10,000 to $15,000 fire suppression system. Despite the huge setback of the first fire, Reaper had managed to rebuild and get back to racing, a testament to his incredible resilience and unyielding spirit. J.J. DeBoss. Jonathan Day, better known as J.J. DeBoss, is a figure forged in the world of Memphis street racing. He came from a family of roofers and spent the first 20 years of his life working in the trade, pouring all his earnings into fixing up old cars. His path to street racing was born out of necessity. He simply could not afford to compete at traditional racetracks. On the streets, he learned to be smart or slick, famously mastering the art of leaving on 2 when the race was supposed to start on 3, a jumpstart tactic he famously called "got what you had." Life on the streets was not without its harsh lessons. JJ spent 8 years and 1 month in federal prison, an experience he describes as a deep learning process that taught him to appreciate and respect life and everyone in it. After his release, he continued his passion for buying, fixing, and selling old cars, using the profits to pay for his beloved racing. He often says he would rather street race than eat when he is hungry, a testament to his deep, almost spiritual connection to the sport. JJ is known for his bold moves, like putting Trisha and Precious, both tough female drivers, in cars to race when others refused to compete against him. This bold strategy allowed him to win many bets and earn a lot of money. He is widely recognized as the fastest man on the streets of Memphis and a notorious gambler, owning a fleet of famous cars, including Zip-Tie, Old Heavy, Hummingbird, the Malibu, and Heifer. He even created his own vibrant street racing scene known as Spin City. JJ's background in roofing, his money problems that led him to street racing, and his time in federal prison paint a picture of a man forged by hard knocks. His slick tactics and use of female drivers highlighted a cunning, unconventional approach to racing. The prison experience was presented as a turning point, adding a layer of personal growth to his outlaw persona. JJ's unpredictable behavior and a series of legal issues have caused friction with the show's producers. He was involved in what was described as a sneaky strategy, seemingly with the full support of the show's producers, using underhanded tactics during races. What was shocking was that the producers stayed passive, seemingly more interested in capturing dramatic camera shots than stepping in to stop escalating situations. The fallout from one particular race led to a legal battle, with JJ being arrested and charged with aggravated assault. He was later released on a $30,000 bond. An ongoing lawsuit seeking $5 million from a person named Larkin continues, but JJ has so far managed to avoid formal charges. In November 2023, another controversial incident happened when a man was filmed holding onto the back of JJ's famous car, Old Heavy, as it sped down the Darlington Dragway. This dangerous stunt prompted the World Drag Association to stop sanctioning events at Darlington Dragway. In response, Darlington Dragway itself banned JJ from hosting any future events, citing serious safety and insurance violations. The details of JJ's legal troubles and the Darlington Dragway ban revealed the serious real-world consequences of actions shown on the show. The claim that producers supported underhanded tactics and stayed passive was a critical point, suggesting a potential involvement in or use of risky behavior for entertainment. Despite facing legal issues and potentially burning bridges with some producers, JJ DeBoss is not one to wait for permission. He has carved out his own path, actively hosting street racing events across the southern United States and using social media platforms to keep his racing empire thriving. He represents the very essence of outlaw racing, fast, raw, dangerous, and defiantly independent. Through all the challenges, he has stayed true to himself and the streets that raised him. Rumors even went around that JJ wanted to leave the show because he was being blamed for Big Chief's departure. This added another layer to the internal drama and blame game that sometimes played out within the Street Outlaws community. Farm Truck and AZN. Sean Farm Truck Whitley and Jeff AZN Bonnet are a dynamic pair celebrated for their truly unconventional car builds. Farm Truck's love for trucks began early at just 12 years old, riding in his father's 1956 Ford pickup. As a teenager, he found himself in the heart of the action, standing between the fastest cars on Route 66, flashlight in hand to start the races. His search for the perfect sleeper led him to his legendary 1970 C10 Chevy pickup, the Farm Truck, a vehicle that's surprisingly fast despite its plain appearance. Farm Truck and AZN became famous for their unique strategy known as fishing. This involved tricking unsuspecting racers into betting money by showering their cars with compliments, while quietly downplaying the Farm Truck's true power. AZN was the master of trash talk, setting the trap, while Farm Truck handled the driving, reeling in the winds. AZN, Farm Truck's best friend for over a decade, shared a similar upbringing in Oklahoma, deeply embedded in the local racing scene. His 1964 Chevy 2 Nova was an important early car for him, marking his own entry into the world of speed. Their fishing strategy and unconventional vehicles, like the Farm Truck, highlighted a unique, almost playful approach to street racing that set them apart from the more serious competitors. Fans noticed when Farm Truck and AZN became surprisingly absent from the 405's core crew. Their break from the show, however, was entirely on purpose. They had a clear reason. They wanted to stay true to their street-style roots. The show was changing, pushing towards more extreme pro-mod type race cars, which were not only incredibly expensive, but also demanded a level of time and dedication that Farm Truck and AZN simply could not or did not want to commit to. Farm Truck humorously stated they would rather put nitrous on a toilet than go that fast, while AZN added, "It's expensive, so we acted our wage," emphasizing their practical approach to racing. Despite their decision to step back, they admitted to feeling a quick sense of being left out as their peers like Ryan Martin dominated the No Prep King series.